All right, day 2 of VMware Explore Barcelona, and man, today they had so many great announcements. Certainly one of them was around Tanzu and the Data Services Manager, and so joining me today are two good friends of the podcast, Darin Zook. Darin, welcome.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
And Keithley, welcome to the podcast for the first time.
Yes, and thank you. It's a long-time listener.
Oh, yeah.
Are you meant to say first-time caller? I don't know, but yeah, long-time listener.
Yeah, we'll take it. Certainly no strangers to podcasting and blogging and community. You guys are family, so welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, I want to talk a little bit. We'll talk about the announcements and what's going on this week in Barcelona. But before that, let's talk a little bit about what Tanzu, and before we even say what Tanzu is, what is Tanzu not? Like that seems to be the going conversation.
Yeah, no, very good question, and it's come up a lot this week. So a lot of us are aware of vSphere Tanzu. It's been around quite a while, and there's been a little misconception of, oh, vSphere Tanzu, that's Kubernetes. So doing simple maths here, does that mean Tanzu is Kubernetes? And it's not, unfortunately. Tanzu is a lot more. Tanzu is a huge portfolio of solutions that will let you deliver cloud-native application development and delivery of those apps. And rounding all that out it's just backed by what we now call the Tanzu platform.
Okay, yeah, because from what I hear, Kubernetes is really hard.
It's complex. There's no question about it. It's complex. And so really the goal with Tanzu Platform is to make it as easy as possible for platform engineers, VI admins to ultimately create an application platform, a true application platform, together with VCF to really deliver that private cloud experience on-prem. You need all of those surrounding services. We heard about advanced services a little bit today. But ultimately, you need all of those things to be able to deliver that public cloud-like experience, but from your own private data center. And so this is what Tanzu Platform is all about. It's bringing those advanced services to really help make application development and delivery real for organizations in their on-prem environments.
Yeah, and as you said, Kubernetes is hard. I would say it was hard. Kubernetes is a lot more mature now, a very mature product. Like at the start, there was a lot of vendors with their own distributions, adding little bits, bolt-ons around it to make it easier. But we've got to the point now it's somewhat vanilla. It's like a utility. It's just there. And why also it's hard is who are you giving Kubernetes to?
Right.
Are you giving it to a developer? Yeah, that's hard because they have to learn that whole ecosystem. Some people do it, yes, but there's better ways to do this.
Right.
And we can discuss more about this as well.
Yeah, certainly. So why don't we just walk through and we can start maybe just from identifying from a platform perspective, VMware Cloud Foundation. This is a question I've actually gotten a couple of times already. People are like, is it included in VCF? Like, how do I get it and when do I get it? And maybe we can start with that and then talk about what it actually provides.
Yeah, so the Kubernetes runtime itself is obviously included with VCF. And so any customer that wants to begin to maybe provide Kubernetes clusters as a service, giving developers direct access to a cluster API and their ability to deploy into that cluster, that's obviously part of VCF and is included with their VCF subscription. Tanzu Platform is actually sold separately, and Tanzu Platform has all of the development and delivery tools to really be able to deliver their applications at scale, accelerate application delivery, make it easier to really ramp up that time to delivery for those applications. Every organization wants to move that release cycle forward. They want to have as many releases in a single week as they can because ultimately we want to generate revenue faster. And the best way to do that is by bringing new features to the forefront of our applications as soon as possible.
Yeah, and like you can see the message here at Vegas and here today, and the general announcement is we are building the private cloud, but it's not just the private cloud, it's the complete private cloud. Like VCF does build you a private cloud, and it's leading, it's it's best in class. There's so much there, it is fantastic. I use it in my home lab, overkill, but I use VCF in my home lab. It makes my life easier. Yeah. But it's just the complete private cloud is, and what we mean by complete is we want parity or better with public cloud.
Absolutely.
And VCF offers, you could say if it's a full stack, you're up to a certain point with VCF, and it does it fabulous, and Tanzu Platform is then just bridging that gap of giving that pure private cloud, and you could say even better because while it could be parity is, a lot of customers, data sovereignty is a big issue.
Absolutely.
Performance, like if you think, and now with AI, and the data volumes, like if you're on public cloud, think of the ingress cost, the egress cost, it's it's astronomical. So you can really see now the focus with Broadcom and with VCF and Tanzu now really delivering that complete private cloud.
Absolutely. So I know one of the announcements at the general session today was around Data Services Manager, but we all know Data Services Manager has been around for a little while. So what's new?
Yeah, so what's new is Tanzu Data Services is our data services offering as part of the Tanzu platform. And one of the things that's really neat about it is we provide enterprise support, and it makes it really easy for a developer to self-service, be able to stand up their own database services. So something as simple from their own IDE as service create, and then they can do Tanzu bind command to bind their data services to their application. And so it makes it very easy for them to consume. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we're managing lifecycle management and updates and other things. And so this is where the DSM aspect of this comes in. And so there's an integration now that's going to be taking place between DSM and Tanzu Data Services that really provides that fleet-wide ongoing day two and onward management. And so really big announcement for VCF and Tanzu as part of that Better Together story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's being done because there's a need for it and there's an ask for it. So Tanzu Data Services is part of Tanzu platform, but if you're not ready at that point in your journey yet where you need the full Tanzu platform, that's why it was announced today. It's available separately and can be consumed through DSM.
Aha, okay.
So there's catering for that where people are, there's no right or wrong answer or solution. Every customer is different.
Yeah.
So we have solutions for wherever you are in your journey today and even where you're going in the next 3 to 5 years.
Very nice. Well, yeah, you actually mentioned that there's several sessions. So for those at home, you can download them online. Just look for Keith Lee or Darin Zook. I don't want to name all the sessions, but there's also an Ask Me Anything where you guys are talking to customers and getting all the information. I'm really curious, what have been some of the questions you've been getting from customers this week?
Whoa! Now where do I start? A lot of it was what's the future? What's the future of the products, the portfolio? A lot of it is, we have these problems today, how can you help us? That's the biggest thing is, we've done Kubernetes, we're doing it okay, we think we can do it better. How can you help us do it better? And a big thing is, when they're starting the journey, is we have this concept of what we call cattle and pets. They're treating their clusters, it's like, we got up and running. Okay, no one touch this. We're going to nurture this thing. We're not going to get a growth.
Oh yeah.
And
it's in a closet, in a broom closet. Don't touch that server. Leave that alone. That from the old days.
And there's all these little quirks and customizations being done because it works for that app. And they realize, okay, that one's done. Okay, we need to do it again. Oh, this has different kind of personality. We need to do it again. And they start realizing, okay, we started off. We found a way to do it. And then realizing, okay, we did that for 5. Okay, we're up to 70 clusters now. This is
doesn't scale.
No. And they're realizing they went down this path and it works.
Yeah.
And they have a team doing it, but the size of that team to manage that, they've got to the point of, okay, we're not in trouble, it's just, is there a better way of doing this? So we try and help people with better practices of treat the clusters as cattle. It's a cluster, as we said this earlier, as Kubernetes is so advanced now and mature, it's an API. It's just, I want it to cluster, there it goes. Don't customize it, personalize. Let the platform put the personalities you want on it for what you're trying to achieve. So a lot of that is showing there's other ways of doing this. Yeah, we could go on forever.
Yeah. How about you, Darin?
Focus for a few more sessions.
Yeah, for me, so the most excited actually I am is for a session that we're doing tomorrow, which is all about the career journey of going from a VI admin to a platform engineer. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we all want skills to grow in our own career.
Absolutely.
And we, for me personally, I spent 10 years as a customer, I spent 5 years as a partner, came to VMware 6 years ago. And so I've been on this career journey. I started as a VI admin. I was throwing servers in and out of racks in the data center, pulling cables, terminating cables, standing up VMs, doing all of the things. And so what I hear from a lot of practitioners is how do I take that next step? How do I begin to understand some of the things that come with cloud native principles when I'm thinking about modernizing applications? What are some layers of abstraction? Some of the things we're talking about this week is Tanzu Platform 10. It was something that we announced back at Las Vegas. And,
right.
And so we're talking about Tanzu Platform 10 and how simple abstraction layers like application spaces can really change how we think about making it easier not only for our developers to consume our infrastructure resources, but also for ourselves to manage that and to make sure that ongoing we have a better and more well-rounded story to make it easier to not only manage the infrastructure platforms, but also the application platforms that sit on top of it.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. I'm definitely going to be watching your talks online. That's really good stuff. You guys, it seems it's like any other technology. It starts off kind of complex, not fully supported, but it seems to, we're getting to the point where this is just baked in. It's built into vSphere in many cases, and now it's getting better and better. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on Virtually Speaking, and don't be strangers, man. Come back.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.